Gajananim Bhutaganadi Savitam Kapitu Jambu Hadasada Bakshitam Uma Shukam Shokavinasha Karanam Namami Vigneshvara. I came to yoga first through the spiritual side, really, and I think it's quite different from what a lot of people are experiencing today now that yoga is so popular. I was in California. I was 16 years old, and Maharishi Mahesh Yogi was coming to Berkeley, which was very close where I lived, and I really wanted to go hear him speak, and so I did, and I just knew then that practice, that meditation practice was what I wanted to start. And so I was initiated into meditation then. But the practice changed because, life is full of change and new influences and new experiences, Buddhist meditation. But I do come back to that. I mean, I do have that even today, that original mantra is a part of my practice. Then, anyway, shortly after that, in the very, right around 99, 2000, that's when I started doing Ashtanga yoga. My Iyengar teacher recommended it. And, and once I started that practice, I just loved it. And I just did that practice up until really this, 2011, when it started to get modified because of my illness. What I've got two really serious, deep problems with my hips. I have two things. I've got a vascular necrosis of the femur head, which is a very rare disease, and it means like the blood supply to the head of the femur was cut off, and so it's like the bone starts to die. That's what necrosis means, is bone death, and then in the joint, there's severe degeneration, which has probably been caused by the necrosis, but it might have been there anyway because I've been really, especially with all of the dancing and things that I've done, that certainly might have exacerbated that degeneration. But the necrosis is a different thing. I first started having any pain in my hip really a long time ago, 2002. And probably doing so much yoga over the years has helped it, last this long. Before I started to really feel the pain, I could tell that there was flexibility, that I used to have amazing, 180-degree splits and everything like that. But it just was a little bit less, I thought, okay, but was it working slowly, I think, now in hindsight. Up until the spring of 2011, I was doing a really strong Ashtanga practice. I could do primary series, I could do intermediate series, I could do all the poses. A couple of things in intermediate I needed a little bit of assistance with. Karandavasana I needed, and I couldn't jump into Bakasana by myself. But other than that, I was doing that. And then 2011, I started in the spring, I started to feel the pain, and the restriction. And I went to my physio and everything, and didn't help, So the first main treatment that I did was this Ayurvedic hospital, 6 weeks there. And then, that's the whole summer I was there in India, and that's when I went to Arunachala and did a yoga retreat in the Himalayas afterwards. And I came home in September, and right away I started looking into something else. And I was doing research online, various kinds of things, and I was looking for stem cells because that's what I'd looked into before. And that's when I started this whole series of stem cell treatment. I had hope for that last treatment. I really did, because it was the most potent one. Finally, it was the cultured stem cells. And I knew when I got there, I knew in my heart, this isn't working, because I'm really tuned to my body, and the connections were not coming back. It was feeling duller than ever, more disconnected. And so I knew then. And then surgery has been the last resort, and so that's what I'm looking for now. So my option now is hip replacement, and that's really the last resort and my only option. And I'm actually looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the change, because I know now that I've tried everything. I don't regret any of the things that I've done, because this is always the last resort, and now I know that I need it. And so, so I'm still really scary. I'm really still really scared about it, but it looks like it's going to really help me get my mobility back. Disappointed, yeah, that the stem cells didn't work. Disappointed that the Ayurvedic didn't work. But what can you do? Is it just accept it and go on? Because the truth is, that the seeds of destruction are embedded in all life forms, yeah? And so it's a very interesting place for me to be now, kind of mentally, because it's like I'm still really alive and I'm feeling really, really vibrant, but my hips are dying. Ganapataye namaha, Om Ganapataye namaha, Om Ganapataye namaha. I feel too that I'm just really understanding how being in the present moment, so like the pain is there only when my mind is thinking about it. The sense of restriction is only there when I try to do something that I can't. But there's still so much joy, because wherever I am, that's where I am. And if there's joy there and there is so much in other things, then it really is okay. And that's why I have to keep on telling to a lot of people that I really am fine. It really is okay. And that's the most amazing thing to me, that it is okay.